David Kelly, President and CEO of Chakana Copper. Chakana Copper has made an important copper, gold, silver discovery in Peru. It's in the Ancash province. It's in an active mining district. The discovery dates back to 2017 when we started drilling these high-grade outcropping tourmaline breccia pipes, but it's progressed now to the south side of the project area. We've quadrupled the land position since we started. We now have control over 4,200 hectares in this district, and we're exploring the newly permitted southern half of the project. It has more high-grade breccia pipes, but it also has what we believe to be the intrusive center that's driving the entire district. We're in the middle of drilling that right now, and we also have a high sulfidation epithermal target to drill. So it's very exciting times for us, Pat.
It is, and that's why we're talking, and I hope to talk to you more regularly because I think you've come off the back of a kind of cash-constrained period where we're talking about the theory of, what and the potential of what could be, but you've just announced 2 holes coming out, not too shabby. Tell us about them.
Yeah, no, we're super excited about that because, we have 3 targets to test in this round of drilling: the high-grade breccia, the porphyry target, and then the high sulfidation epithermal target. And we put 2 shallow holes to test the grade of the Estremadoyro breccia pipe. It's another one of these outcropping, very strongly mineralized at surface breccia pipes. It's not rocket science. It's mineralized at surface. We know that these breccias, from all the drilling we've done, we know that they're vertically extensive breccia pipes. And in fact, we've never seen the bottom one on the north side. We're super interested in this one in particular because it's the closest outcropping or mapped breccia to the mega gold porphyry target. So we're very curious to see what the clasts are like in this breccia, what the grades are like. And yes, we did hit great grades: 1% copper, 0.6 grams gold, and 26 grams silver across a part of the breccia. We drilled it in the other direction and got similar grades. But importantly for me, it's the first time we've ever seen the mineral boronite intergrown with chalcopyrite. And the significance of boronite versus chalcopyrite, they're both common ore minerals for the copper supply, but boronite has 64% copper and chalcopyrite has 34%. So it's about double the amount of copper in that mineral. So it's a great sign to see that. We don't know if it has something to do with the fact that we're close to our porphyry target or what it really means, but it's great to see from a grade standpoint. And as you mentioned, we get good grades with the precious metals, 0.6. The copper equivalent of what we just drilled is 1.65% copper equivalent. So a little bit of gold and some silver adds a lot to the value of this mineralization.
Well, it does. You talk about it's 1.65 copper equivalent and 2.5 gold equivalent for people who know gold a little bit better. So in terms of the economics, the mix of gold and copper and silver, that's the exciting bit here, I think. How do you then move this thing forward? You're waiting for a third drill results to come through. When are we going to see that?
Well, we got the first drill results out with just over 4 weeks of the start of drilling, which I think that sets a record in my book. I mean, that tells you how hard our team is working at site and also our vendors in the laboratory and that type of thing. The second batch of samples just went into the lab. So 2 to 3 weeks, time frame. Ironically, the results were a little bit delayed in this last time because we had 13 copper assays that were over limit and had to be reassayed. So that's always a good problem to have. But yeah, I would expect steady flow of information. I'm happy to get on and do these regular updates with you because I think it's important. We're seeing some great rocks. We're seeing big system alteration in the mega gold drilling to date. Obviously, we don't know anything about the grades, but we're seeing the right minerals. We've seen chalcopyrite and molybdenite. We have no idea if there's gold in the mineralization that we're drilling, but it's still early days. We're just on the third hole out of 6 that were originally planned, but we are working now to expand the drilling based on what we're seeing. We're super excited. Goldfields is excited with the results we've gotten to date. So we're going to expand the drill program and keep drilling down there because the big system alteration that we're seeing is very encouraging.
Tell me about the assay component, because people focus on the drilling, but the assay bit is that does the talking. And sometimes you've got to work out how you assay these ore bodies, because the copper comes in different forms. So, and some companies have to, go off and do like far screen assays compared to the, regular assays. So what are you working out there in terms of what you're going to need to do going forward? And will it delay you? Will it cost any more?
It doesn't really. I mean, we've always done multi-element ICP-MS for the broad geochemical scan. That gives you 50 plus elements to work with, all the base metals, all the precious metals, all the pathfinder elements that are important in mineral systems, the zoning of elements. We talked a lot about the manganese halo that we have surrounding our porphyry target. So elements like that are important, even though they're not part of the economic story. They're certainly part of the geologic story. And then gold is always done by fire assay. We choose a fire assay method that has a 50-gram sample instead of 30. It's a bigger sample. It helps minimize any kind of nugget effect that you might have. And then there's over limit assays for anything that's above the reportable limit for all of the important metals of interest, and we do that as well. So what's exciting me about this system, Matt, is the fact that we've always seen lots of precious metals with the copper. Copper-gold systems are very common. But we also see significant molybdenum mineralization, especially deep in the breccias. We're already seeing molybdenite in the holes we're drilling at Mega Gold. So this is telling us we've got a copper-gold molybdenum system, and those are actually fairly rare. If you plot a ternary diagram of copper-gold and molybdenum and put all the global copper deposits on it, you get two trends. You get copper-gold deposits and you get copper-molybdenum deposits. There's a few that sit in the middle of that, and one of them that comes to mind, one of the greatest examples is the Bingham deposit in Utah. It kind of sits right in the middle of that ternary diagram, and so it speaks to the somewhat unique character of the intrusive rocks that generate these kind of systems. They tend to be more alkalic systems. We don't know that we have alkalic rocks yet, but we still haven't seen that smoking gun intrusion that's driving this. So just the geochemical association is interesting, and all three of those metals can be very important economically, as you know.
Okay, so exciting times on the drill bit, and the Assay seem to be delivering on. We'll wait to see some regular updates from you.
Yep.
On the money side of things, just remind me, how many meters are we talking about drilling going forward?
The original plan was 3,000 meters. We got the Estremadoyro breccia drilling done for 147 meters, which I was thrilled. We got all the information we needed at this point. Shallow intercept, high grade, good. Let's move on. We had planned 200 meters for that, so we immediately started Mega Gold with an extra 50 meters. But we're also in exercising warrants from the first tranche of our financing. That's giving us additional capital. And we just had a meeting this morning with Goldfields to talk about additional drilling and expanding the drill program. So, we've got a minimum of 3,000 meters, but we'll push that up. And I want to do more drilling in Mega Gold because I'm excited about what I'm seeing.
Okay, you're excited. Goldfields excited. So I want to talk to you about the next thing, which is you obviously, and I referred to it earlier in terms of being a cash constraint for a long period of time and the equities market's been off for 3 years, etc. Rick Rule's come into this thing. People got a little bit excited about the potential because he's a guy that talks about scale. He's only investing in something with scale. Yet, if I'm looking at the kind of trading liquidity here, it's significantly increased. Do you think you're going to rotate out a bunch of maybe long-standing shareholders? What would you say to them? Would you say, stick with us, give us a chance? Or do you say, well, actually, it's probably a good thing, it's going to freshen up that register? Yeah,
I think a little bit of both is happening now. We certainly have seen a lot of new investors come into the story. And a lot of those came in at the end of 2023 when we were trading at 4 cents, 3 cents, 3.5 cents, I think was our low. So, they're already sitting on very nice gains. I think we're up 30% in the last 6 months or something like that. But we do have a lot of shareholders, a lot of very loyal and long-term shareholders that have invested at much higher prices, of course, 50 cents, 40-cent financings, including Goldfields. Goldfields has put in over $12 million, since 2018 at much higher prices, but they're doing it because they believe in the project. So I certainly hope that the longer term shareholders stick with us. Many of those have averaged down. A big part of our recent financing did include existing shareholders, so they see the value of that, and the best way to minimize dilution to yourself is to participate in the financing. The management certainly did that. All management is exercising their warrants in this exercise with this warrant exercise period that we're going through now. So it's a very good sign to see the quality of the shareholders. Rick Rule just put out his pre-conference video that came out yesterday where he interviewed me, and he talks extensively about what he likes about the company, the fact that he personally vetted all the companies that attend his resource investment conference in Boca Raton that's coming up July 7th through the 11th. So I encourage people to read that or to listen to that video and see why Rick is a shareholder and what he likes about us.
Right, and we'll put a link to that in the article accompanying this conversation. I appreciate the update, and I also appreciate the offer of seeing you a bit more regularly. We'll take you up on that. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Matt. You too.